channel. Today, as you can see, I'm at work, but I'm going to touch bases on a much needed topic. And you all have seen it, you all have thought about it, you've had this thing happen before. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel so we can get the algorithm in to YouTube so that they can play this video and some others to help other viewers out that may be pondering this situation. If you're new to the channel, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, share it, and comment. If you're returning to the channel, thanks again for support. Hit the like button, the comment, and let me know what you think about it. Today's topic is building a hot rod or buying a hot rod. And this right here goes on. It's a topic that you want to do all your homework before you start. And this is what I mean by that. And I've kind of broken it down to about 8 topics with ideas in between. Number one, what is your budget? Are you able to buy what type of vehicle are you going to buy, and how much are you able to spend from the very beginning? What can you do? Can you go to Barrett Jackson or buy a vehicle, or Mecum Auto Auction and buy a vehicle? If you can, this video is also for you. If you're the person that is searching for a vehicle and have a idea what it is you want, whether it be a car, a truck, I mean, it doesn't matter. A hot rod is a hot rod. It's not confined to being a car. It's not confined to being a truck. It's not an SUV. It could be a motorcycle. It could be anything. Hot rods are anything or any vehicle that you take and modify from stock. Let me say that again. A hot rod is described as a vehicle that you take and modify from stock. So it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a boat, it could be a motorcycle, it could be anything that has a power source on it, and you take and change it from whatever the factory built it as. That's a hot rod by our definitions. Number two, what vehicle do you want? Number three, what will the vehicle be completely built by someone else? Here we go with that. If you go to a place and they have a car, let me say a vehicle. I don't want to list this. I don't want to put it just a one-way tie on it. If you go to a place and they tell you, hey, we have this build here that somebody dropped off, they didn't finish it, we are wanting to sell the vehicle as is, or we will complete the vehicle for you. And you decide to go that way. Then what you need to do is you need to be realistic in what you want the vehicle for. Is it going to be a daily driver? Are you going to build a show vehicle where you're going to tow it to places? You're not going to drive it. It's not going to be run. You're going to trailer it everywhere it goes. That type of thing. If somebody else is going to build it, what's the timeline on it? Is it going to be most shops, most of these big shops, they'll take 2 years to build a vehicle from the ground up. What's your budget? Is it going to charge you? What's the hourly rate of everything that they do? Are you going to take the vehicle and you're going to build a frame off? You're going to do a frame off which means exactly what it says. The body is going to be separated from the frame. You're either going to get a brand new frame from a provider, or they're going to take your frame, they're going to chemically clean it, they're going to buy some stiffening components from a manufacturer, they're going to weld those components in. Everything that happens to that vehicle has a associated cost with it. Everything. So how are you able to do any of the work or all of the work? Do you have a place you can put it in? Would it be cheaper for you to buy the vehicle and rent you a storage, one of those storage at the U-Haul, 18 by whatever it is? Put the vehicle in that, and whenever you're going to work on it, go over there and work on it. You know, it's building a hot rod. First thing 101 is, do you have a place to keep the vehicle? That's number one. Before you even make a purchase, do you have a place to keep it? Doesn't matter if it's at your place, if you're going to rent somewhere, at a buddy's house, buddy's backyard, uh, some place you're paying for. It doesn't matter. That's the first thing. Where am I going to keep this vehicle? Number two, do I have the time to work on this vehicle? Number three, if I do buy a vehicle that needs work on it, how soon can I get the vehicle up and going and get it to a position that I'm not having to travel to and fro places in order to work on it? I'm not paying a boatload of money for a storage facility and stuff like that. That's in that same thing. Now, let me go into this. The beauty of buying a finished vehicle is just like buying a brand new or a used vehicle. The moment that you take ownership of it, you are able to enjoy the vehicle. Able to enjoy it. And you still can make changes to it. You can go, say for instance, you go and buy a vehicle that's running. It may have a paint job on it, may not, but it's running. You're able to enjoy it. You're able to drive it. You enjoy it right then. So you still can put your stamp on it. Go there and make subtle changes or drastic changes to the vehicle and personalize it and make it your own. Still a hot rod. You're still building it. You just bought it. You just bought it some steps down the line that you didn't have to go back and do. Now, if you decide to be a guy or a girl or somebody that says, I want a vehicle and I'm going to build this vehicle from the ground up, that's a big undertaking. That's a big undertaking, because you're saying that you're going to buy a vehicle that may or may not be running. You're going to take it and you're going to modify the vehicle and customize it to what you want, and there's no timeline to it. And that's great. That's great. You have the ability to do that, the time to do it, the place to put it at, one-on-one. But it still falls down into this category, what I'm talking about. We're going to get down the line on it. What is your timeline? That's number 5 on the list. What's your timeline? When you buy the vehicle, how soon or how long are you going to wait before you can start driving? Does the vehicle have to be finished? Does it have to have a paint job on it? All of these things are proceeding to this point. Number 6, there are lenders out here that will finance muscle cars. That's an option for you. You can skip way up ahead the list, find you one that's already up and going, and get a loan for it, pay for it, and automatically start appreciating your purchase. 7, do you know that there are several car lots that sell muscle cars? There are. It's not just Barry Jackson. They're not just Mecum Auction. You have places like Maple Motors. Uh, they be on YouTube and they offer muscle cars in the mid 20s, sometime in the teens. You know, and so you have places like that that will have all makes of cars and trucks in there, and they offer those vehicles, and they also have financing for them. They have several different options that you can explore in order, if you don't have it yourself, in order to get those purchases done. Number 8, how often will you drive the vehicle, and what is the use? Okay, so that's self-explanatory. If you decide to buy a vehicle and you are saying this is going to be my daily driver, well, if that's the case, then you want to buy one that's got all the creature comforts to it. You want the air conditioning, you want the heat, you want those things. You don't want to buy something that somebody had as a race car, and then you're gonna have to revert and immediately make changes for you to be able to drive, because it doesn't have windshield wipers, it doesn't have seat belts, it it doesn't have air conditioning, it doesn't have heat. Be realistic with yourself when you make a purchase, because it's always the saying, buyer beware. Something is only worth what the next person is willing to pay for it. They can ask, the seller can ask whatever they want to ask, and ultimately they'll have wiggle room. But it's only worth what the next person is willing to pay for, and that's for all of us. That's for all of us. That's that's me included. So, in recap, what is a hybrid? What is a hybrid? And a hybrid is described as any vehicle that has been modified from its original build, wheels and tires, engine and transmission, appearance, handling, accessories. That's a hybrid. Whenever you take something from what it was originally and start to add aftermarket parts on the vehicle, then you've changed the vehicle and you are now building a hybrid. How far can it go? As far as you want to take it. As far as you want to take it. It's no limit on a hybrid. I mean, I've been doing this for 35 years, and if you look back on the archives of my channel and you see the vehicles that I have, the 82 C10, the 83 Monte Carlo Super Sport, I've had those vehicles since they were new. Before that, I had uh, all three of the first generation Camaros. I had a 67 Super Sport, a 68 RSSS, a 69 SS, you know. And so, on all those vehicles, I made changes. Every one of those vehicles, I made changes as far as way of engines, transmissions, wheels and tires and stuff like that. So, this is something I've been doing a long time. So, you know, this is the meat and potatoes of car crafting right here, what we're talking about this morning. And that's building a hot rod 101. Building it, or if you buy it, it doesn't matter. If you go out there to CarMax or the Chevrolet or Ford or Mopar and buy you a Hellcat, a Demon, you buy you a Shelby Mustang, a GT Mustang, you buy a Camaro, or whether it be a base model, coupe, whether it be a RS, a Super Sport, a ZL1, matter. You buy it, you take it off the lot, you put a set of wheels and tires on it, you and your path to building a house. do exhaust on. You and your family building a hot rod. Tinted window, anything you do, you're modifying it from the factory setting. You're on your way to. You have just started building a hot rod. How far can it go? Depending on what outcome you want. How long will it take? Depends on you. Where do you think the vehicle's finished it? Or you just cool with a set of wheels and tires, maybe a different stance, stiffening the suspension, doing something to the exhaust, putting the cam in it, changing the tune of the computer. That's totally up to you. But just remember this, that's the beauty of building a hot rod. It's your vehicle built to your standard in your life. And nobody else has to like it. But believe me with this. If you do something, somebody's gonna like it. If you just do one thing, somebody's gonna like it. But don't build it unless you're building a show car. Build it for you, for what you want, what you're looking for. And every time you walk out to the vehicle, whether you raise in your garage, whether you park at a show, whether you park at a local meet, a dive, a burger bar, ice house, whenever you walk outside, you're smiling about your vehicle because you know what you've done to it, and you also got plans. A hot rod also is never done. A hot rod is never done. You can take and have uh, one of the top builders. You can take have Foods, uh, Ken Diggett. You can have any of these top builders. Steve Stroll. You can have any of these guys build a car for you, and I can guarantee you, after the 2 years or however long it takes, and all the money, I can guarantee you, a year, 6 months, or a year down the road, you're gonna make another change to the building, and you may be just a built a six-figure car. You're gonna change some on it. There's gonna be some on it you're gonna want to change, but you're gonna see something else either on somebody else's field, or it's gonna be a new product come out, and you're gonna want that product. So a hot rod's never done. It's never done. You get to a point, one thing, technology may change, different things come out. Hey, you're gonna jump on it. You're gonna jump on it. You may sell a vehicle and find something else you want and use that money to finance the next vehicle. But a hot rod is never done. So I just thought today, uh, sitting up here, I thought today, you know what would be a good topic? And a good topic is building a hot rod. Why, how, and the easiest way to get it done. If you're a person that, whether you have mechanical ability or not, if you can read, understand directions, you can get it done. If you don't want to do any of that, you can go somewhere and buy one or pay somebody else to do the work. But don't let any of those things stop you from building the dream vehicle that you have, regardless of what it is or what you intend to use. Hot rod is what you want, go after getting it done. And this is my message of the day. I will get with you later on. And if you haven't done so, if you're just new to the channel, do me a solid, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video, comment, and if you're a reoccurring subscriber to the channel, same thing. Hit the like button, comment, so we can get the comments up on everything. We can get the channel in an algorithm, and I could be able to take the channel, the topics further than what I'm doing now, because I know that you all are liking the commentary as well as the information. Have a great day. Stay safe. Be vigilant. I'll talk to you tomorrow.